Hey guys, my name's Alex. I'm a second year med student at the Universidad de Navarra in Pamplona, Spain. We're at the Polideportivo. The university also has a bunch of other clubs. Naturally, if you're in a pinch, you can always take a cab. And there is even a cab app called Pide Taxi. But you never really need a cab unless it's 4 a.m. and you're a little bit inebriated after a long day of class. You do have the public transport, which is very good on timing. They're rarely late, and like I showed you in that previous video, you can check the times. And for that, you have a couple of options for payment. Number one is just pay cash, and I think it's about $135 for every ride. Rides don't carry over, which is again different from what I'm used to at home. So if you pay that one ride, you pay that one ride. If you need another bus, you have to pay again. That's one option. Then you can also get a card, right? Which you can put you can choose how much money you put on it, and each ride comes out to 70 cents. So basically 50% of what you would normally pay. I would recommend anybody get that, regardless of how often or not often you're using the bus, because at some point you will use it, and it's quite a big difference. There's also a monthly card, or a lifetime card, if I'm not mistaken. Monthly card that you pay, I think, 30-40 euros, and you get unlimited rides for the entire month. So if you end up living in Campus, for example, which is a little bit far off, a little bit towards the center of the city, that monthly card is 100% needed and will save a lot on your piggyback. A real cool thing about Pamplona, and really useful, is that inside the bus stops, they tell you what bus is coming, where it's going, and how much time to wait. So very nice. Of course, you also have a map over here, and you can also download an app that has more updated information. That's pretty cool. As I mentioned, most residences that you pick do the food for you. Right, so Colegio Mayores and any of the residences have a cafeteria, but you also have a cafeteria inside the university and in multiple buildings, right? For example, the science building has one because it's a little bit farther off. Then I think there's one in the central building and one in the Three Amigos. So you can always go there to eat. That being said, it's paid. Right, so it's not free for students. From what I know, you don't really get a discount because everybody going there to eat is already a student. So yeah, that's a good thing. The food there is fairly varied. Most of it is Spanish though, so you get a lot of tortilla de patatas, bocatas, but some places even have things like wok, or I think I saw a lasagna or burgers a couple times. But in general, for Pamplona, and this goes for the restaurants as well, most of it is Spanish. So tapas, chorizo, gazpacho, which again is good food, so I'm not complaining. In terms of where to buy food, you have a couple of options. Eroski, which generally is not worth the quality, and the stores are quite small, so you can't really buy anything in bulk. You have BBVA, which is pretty good but expensive. And then you have Carrefour, which is the go-to for everything. As you can see from outside, it's huge. And it's a department. It's not a department store, but it has everything. So if you need clothes, food, anything, it's all there. And there's also a lot of Carrefour Express, which have less variety of things, but they're open longer, that are dotted around the city. So those are your couple of main options. Generally, if you can, go to Carrefour. It's the best one. And you can buy things in bulk, so you can buy big bags of chips or whatever you need. I should say that the groceries in Pamplona are also surprisingly cheap, at least by Canadian standards. From myself and most of my friends, we generally spend maybe 150 euros a month on groceries, which again depends how smart you're spending all that, but yeah, by Canadian standards, that's pretty good. So as a Canadian, one of the things that I really struggled with when I was figuring out moving to Pamplona was my accommodations, just because it's a lot different from any other university that I know of. The main difference being that there's no actual university accommodations. In reality, you have three options, right? Number one is moving directly to your own apartment. So you can find roommates, and you can move directly. There's a great website called idealista.com or .es that has all the apartments available in the city, and you can broker it yourself and get it there. Me, who is in an apartment this year, that's what I use, and that's what all my friends use as well. For first years though, the main option that most people go with is a residence that you really have two options again. So you have Colegio Mayores, which are affiliated with the university for the most part, the vast majority of them. But they are run by religious groups. So some of them are run by Opus Dei, and some of them, like mine, that I went to last year, was run by the Jesuits. What that means is that they do have some restrictions in place. So some of them have curfews, some of them have dress codes, so on and so forth. So they're a little bit more strict. That being said, great way to meet people. I definitely don't regret living there last year. They range in prices, but I think most of them are around 8,000 to 10,000 euros a year. And they tend to be really close to campus because, again, they are affiliated with the university. So that's one option. Now, the last option you have is something called Campus Home or Uni Booking, okay? What that means is that it's your own apartment, but this company is the one that finds it for you and finds your roommates. And you can specify what type of roommate you want. So if you want people only studying philosophy, then you can try and get your roommates only studying philosophy. So you can kind of pick people, in different years, and all that. Again, they also cook, clean, do laundry, everything for you, but they also have different plans. So for example, if you just wanted somebody to come clean for you, you can just contract them coming to clean for you, which of course is reflected in the price. Again, that's a very nice option because you're still with people and there's still people coming to help take care of you in your first year, but the downside is that you're not meeting as many people, right? So my Colegio Mayor last year has about 200 people. Campus I think is around there as well, and if you're in Campus Home, you are in a room of 4, so a little bit of a trade-off, but again, less restrictions. So if you want to go out and stay out till 5 a.m. every single day, you absolutely can.